an original.
From Story Studio Network.
The 2030 Project is a Story Studio Network podcast sponsored by Daily Bread Food Bank, a Toronto-based charity whose mission is to collaborate with all to eliminate food insecurity and advocate for solutions to end poverty. What would it take to eliminate poverty in Canada by the year 2030? This is the 2030 Project. It's a podcast that explores why poverty persists and what we can do about it in this country. We endeavor to uncover what's been successful with Canada's poverty reduction strategy, but then what needs to come next? The 2030 Project tackles some of the biggest and the most pressing social issues facing this country today. I'm Dave Trafford, and thanks for joining us. So when we spelled out the 11 episodes of Season 1 for the 2030 Project, our objective was twofold. One was to say, here's the problem that's sitting right in front of us, vis-a-vis poverty. We lauded the objectives of the poverty reduction strategy in Ottawa, that there were elements in there that do work. We have seen evidence that based on programs that they have initiated, that certain demographics in the population no longer live in poverty. In the next 10 episodes, what we'd like to do is to start with a conversation based on the values expressed by the Daily Bread Food Bank. So we are joined by Diane Dyson. She serves as the Vice President of Research and Advocacy at Daily Bread, and Neil Hetherington is the CEO.
What gave me hope about the podcast was that it was soon after. It was a month or two after the release of the final episode that I was speaking out of school and found out that the children in the grade 10 class had to listen to episodes of the 2030 Project. That was part of their curriculum. And they are learning about the issues. They are learning about why poverty exists. What is it that has caused a divide between those who have and those who don't have? And what are the opportunities for us to be able to correct that? And so I walked away, yes, learning a lot, learning about the complexity of it, but also walking away with a sense of hope and optimism that a new generation will continue to push government to be able to hit those targets that we talked about in terms of poverty reduction.
Well, one of the things that I've noted in the last couple of months, Diane, particularly having gone through the election campaign here in Ontario, we're in election phases municipally in Ontario and in British Columbia in the fall, that for the first time that I can recall, four major parties in the province of Ontario all looked at poverty and said it's an issue, in as much as they all committed to increasing ODSP and Ontario Works payments because they understood that they were inadequate at least. Now, they may not be raising the money enough or raising the rates high enough yet, but I thought it was a significant step forward to have, in one debate particularly, all four, the Greens, the Tories, the NDP, and the Liberals, saying, yes, we're going to do this. We're committed to it.
You're absolutely right. It was an encouraging moment to be able to see that that poverty as an idea of how our neighbors are doing was a kitchen table conversation. It was one of those things that even at the political level, that folks that are being elected felt like they had to address. And that's the opportunity that opens the door for change.
Now more than ever, poverty is, as Diane said, a kitchen table issue. There is the real opportunity for change here. And so in this next season of the 2030 Project, our objective is change. I'm Dave Trafford, and the 2030 Project is a Story Studio Network podcast produced by Eye Contact Productions.